Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
Republican. Fuck! Bastard! Man, why the fuck do you do that?
Only days after a conservative
Fuck off!
icon
Where is the
was
clip?
assassinated,
What was his answer?
Imagine the future.
I guess I'm best to watch just
With
this one.
because someone fired a bullet
But
at
it's
Charlie Kirk.
32
that
minutes
said, "Hey,
long.
fascist,
Fuck,
catch."
where is
And
that
when
moment?
you ask people
People to fly their flags a half-mast in memory of Charlie. You posted on
This is
X
what you
flying
get, like, you
flags
become
and
like
poles
Destiny.
just to fly them fully erect.
Ah, well, actually, I was about to say that this is what happens to you if you grow up playing Mine. No, okay, because he's got a son who was growing up. He like I remember first time I've seen Destiny long ago. He was like a Minecraft streamer, and he had his son playing along with him. Back then, I was like 15, 16, I guess, maybe something of that sort. And I thought, damn, I don't think it's a good idea, because I always felt that those games like Minecraft and the like, they are making you. This is a way to make people very infantile, basically, to grow up a very infantilistic child when he grows up. So I never liked it. But no, it's more like this is what happens to you when you are 30 years old and you play Minecraft. You become
and you
Destiny,
then posted
perhaps.
yesterday ending every conservative debate.
But in
call
reality,
that
I
idea
guess
in
the man just...
2026
I don't know. I don't know what he was like really back then. What was he? He could have... my vision, the way I just sense, he probably was more or less sane. He was a sane person, perhaps. But too long on the internet, a lot of discussions, debates with eventually trembled, made his psyche tremble a little bit. It's been shaken and it's collapsing at this point. I bet Destiny is having a lot of fun lately.
With don't dodge, bro. That's not what.
You know, based on everything he has been saying, I guess I can just jokingly say that I hope he will be having a lot more fun watching his back.
Charlie would have
so
wanted.
nobody.
I mean, do you think that your
nobody
response
fires in his face or in the back of his
to the
head?
cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side.
So that's why we dialectically move in the opposite direction. We are being, well, Destiny himself, yes, because he's a popular persona. He definitely realizes that he's got a weight. He's got a weight, and he's pro-democratic. So in a way, he's one of the faces of, the left half of the American society. Yes, he's one of those faces. I guess he realizes this, his responsibility. And realizing it, he he just encourages them to go to do the same thing. Well, the mirror actions, yes, to take the mirror actions.
10 years.
That's how dialectically he makes people, Republicans, realize it. Because assumingly it's supposed to be like what? Destiny loves? Like, there are conservatives, yes. Some people could like Charlie Kirk, some couldn't be liking him much, yes, being indifferent. But in the end, that happens, and he's like ideologically close, even if they didn't like Charlie Kirk being conservatives. Like Nick Fuentes, for example. They obviously get pissed and very emotional because of such things happening. In the end of the day, well, the same thing can happen to people they like or to themselves. So obviously they're becoming a little emotional, yes, a little also shaken. And what Destiny does, and how he apparently perceives this image, assumingly as one of the guesses, at such stage, at that moment, he makes them hate him so much, yes, and hate people from the left. So at some point, apparently, they're supposed to, oh, well, he's right, actually, you know. Damn, now I see that. Yes, they did kill Charlie Kirk, but look, Destiny had this wonderful argument referring to the game theory. Yeah, we need to cool down, we need to realize that we need to lower our rhetoric. This is exactly what's going to happen, Destiny. You are right.
into
It's not that they will be having mirror actions.
whatever this Trump
There will be
madness
more.
is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the
Symmetrical
temperature on their
reaction,
side.
yes,
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down.
This guy, this one, right from Piers Morgan. I
you
actually,
want-
for a while, I was looking at him.
Conservative that will
I
call
thought
for
it's
a
a-
lowering
it's a
of the
photo,
temperature on their
but he's
side.
blinking.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're
like-
not willing to
like
do
a
it, it will
stone.
never come down. If you want
Fuck, again, I
figures
wasn't listening.
into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side, I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in
obviously-
American history.
Obviously, based on what we've seen, Destiny's perspective is that the people, the Democrats, yes, they've never been doing any hostile actions previously. Like over the past 10 years, none of that. Just no hostility whatsoever. No radical rhetoric of any sort. Nothing in comparison to the Republican radicalism.
Have happened
That's
under
the
Donald
point
Trump.
of view, basically.
All
And,
of the
surely, yes. They are lambs. They are just peaceful, lovely lambs who seek for, who believe in the best, somewhat. And the Republicans, they are cunning, evil, bloodthirsty wolves. That's the
recent
image.
political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority
At some point, it may become
of it, the
real.
overwhelming
buddy.
majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who
and there has been no-
shot Charlie Kirk?
a guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
guy
white
described.
I thought it doesn't really matter what who your parents are. It's funny he appeals to parents being a liberal, yes, because I always thought that we shouldn't be. Well, you know, this logic of not judging sons for the sins of their parents or the crimes of their parents seems like a liberal thing to do. Kind of logical, yes. I mean, how sons are responsible for their parents. Extrapolating this logic away, well, moving away, using the same logic, yes, applying this on the example of the views and beliefs of people. I think if one's parents are conservative, it doesn't mean that children are going to be conservative. I suspect that Destiny's parents could be pretty conservative. Somehow, he's not very much, is he? Wonderful argument, by the way, damn.
He was
No,
a
Destiny.
trans- he
No,
didn't have
Destiny.
a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry, you
Well,
guys were wrong on all of that.
To be clear, the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry, excuse me, when?
yesterday he said that. The
No.
governor
When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college? Not
I don't
the
know
18
when he was
years that
radicalized, but I do
because
know.
what you just
I
said
do
is not
know the
true.
very
No, that's
reasonable
not true.
sounding governor of Utah
Now we don't believe FBI reports, do we?
Oh.
has made
No,
it
it's
clear
not true.
that the
No, he
investment.
hasn't made it
You may
clear.
not want
He
to
said
hear
this is an
this.
ongoing investigation.
You may not
No,
want to
you don't
hear
wanna
it,
hear
Destiny,
Piers.
but the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology.
Yeah, but this is Republican propaganda, and FBI and the governors and the police there, they're all conservatives, and obviously they will be lying, yes, falsifying information to radicalize people on there. Well, from the conservative side. Funny thing, it wasn't working the same way when the Democrats were at power, right? Everything that FBI was publishing back then was 100% true and accurate, and no manipulations were taking place.
that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me
Yeah,
just
that's
ask you.
just not true.
Let me just
There's
ask
no
you.
way
well,
to deal with it. You're
Okay,
living in a
accusing the
delusional
governor of
fantasy.
lying.
Damn, I'm shocked to see Piers Morgan being the voice of sanity.
That's your prerogative. But
Sure.
if it turns out to have been somebody with a
Just
leftist
madness.
ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So
The
you
fact
won't
that he
condemn
can go
the
on
murder of
Fox and
Charlie
Friends-
Kirk
I'm
until
just-
Donald Trump says
Here's-
something.
I'm a YouTuber, leftist, and
Has Donald Trump been calling for reverse violence? The mirrored violence. Again, symmetrical actions of some sort. Was he radicalizing people further? Well, I guess obviously he was, yes. According to Destiny. Again, I wasn't like following every single word of Trump since then. I wasn't paying much attention to that. Obviously he was. He probably was. I obviously he wasn't saying that calm down everybody. But in the same time, was he moving in any opposite way?
And Democrats have been condemning and
Really?
turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why
tell
would you
his side-
Why didn't Joseph Biden, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, why did neither of them, back in 2020, January the 6th, came on the stage and asked the population, the whole population, not just the Republicans, but the Democrats and the Republicans, both of them, to calm down a little bit? Like, what's happened has happened. What's done is done, gentlemen. We need to relax, calm down. I mean, it's all fine. Let's just not exacerbate the situation. Let's improve this. Why didn't they do that? The only question I would like to ask Destiny, I'm pretty sure he would find a justification of that because it was an intolerable action, absolutely. You know, seizing the capital of the United States, taking it under control. It's basically a coup, man. It is attempt of a coup.
Expect
to
anybody,
calm down.
Destiny.
You
What-
can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why
Okay,
can't
can
Trump
you
go on
answer
Son
the-
of a fucking whore, Jesus Christ. He's not as smart as I thought in a way. Well, I mean, maybe he's just being manipulative.
This question.
on the
all
other
of us
side.
should be less violent.
Why do you
can't
think-
Trump say that?
why do you
Why
think-
is your
Trump say
behavior
that? I feel like
contingent on
I'm
Donald Trump?
insane right
Is
now.
that-
Why do you
is
think?
your
Let me
behavior
ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me ask a
Because
question.
he's the president of the United States
Whatever,
of
like
America,
the-
the leader of the
Yeah,
opposing
Destiny.
political party.
Destiny. Let me
You
just.
have a huge audience of young men.
Wait, maybe
who
I'm
listen to
mistaken.
every-
Maybe it's another woman. Is she that from Gamers Gate? If that's the woman or not? Damn, because I think I might have mistaken.
Everything you have to
Who
say.
has
Taking her
more
for another
young
person.
men?
It
She's
doesn't
probably-
matter. You have a huge audience.
The
And because of
Armenians,
the fact that
man.
you have a huge audience,
And
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility
broken by
to
online
not
rhetoric.
turn. No,
And what does he say?
Who has more
So
young
when
men
you,
following
it
him?
doesn't matter.
Who
You
has
have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience,
matter.
and because
This
of
is
the fact that
world
you have a
I'm
huge
living in,
audience,
and
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility
broken by
to
online
not turn.
rhetoric.
No,
And
it
your
hasn't.
brain
It
has
hasn't been
been
broken. I
destroyed
actually care
because
about the
people
country
bullied you on
and want to
Twitter.
bring people together.
If
You
then
do the
you should tell
opposite.
Donald
You
Trump to tell
represent the
people
worst
to
of us,
be
Destiny.
less-
You should have said, you should have told Kamala Harris, Joseph Biden, and Hillary Clinton to tell their population to calm down back in 2020 without punishing people. I mean, when the Civil War was over, everybody was pardoned. There was no trial. There was, like, the war was finished, right? They've chosen a right way back then. They decided not to exacerbate the situation. They won in the war. Yeah, the North, I mean, the Union. And they did not judge anyone for betrayal, for any kind of crimes, right? The war was finished. And the victorious decided not to vanquish the victor decided not to vanquish the victorious. Those who defeated. They defeated, yes, you got the point. The capital was taken under control. Why didn't they try to calm the population down back then?
Violence.
You should
Surely-
tell Donald-
All
right,
Look
let me
at
ask
watch how
Destiny a
easy this is.
question.
Watch how easy this
No,
is.
hang on.
If
Don't
Donald
all
Trump
shout
would've
at
come out
once,
and say-
please.
If Donald Trump would have come out
Destiny,
and say, "Hey, we should
I-
all be less violent,"
Destiny,
I have no problem saying.
I have one
absolutely.
question for you,
Why
Destiny.
can't conservatives do that? Why can't conservatives do that?
Destiny, I
Why
have a question
can't the
for you.
the
Why do you
Democrats do
think
that
in
either?
your campaign for everyone to
Why
dial
can't
down
anyone?
the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts
The
an
thing is,
image
he
of
doesn't even try to look like to apply the same logic from the other angle. You know, like turn it upside down somewhat. Try to apply it to yourself. It's double standards, obviously. Hottentot morality. Yeah.
her.
No, because me and my guys, we can do that. Yes, whoever I support, we can do that. The enemy cannot. The opponent cannot.
Side. Why do you think that constitutes
These rules, well, rather,
turning down
it's only applicable.
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United
You
States is
inflame the
not
temperature.
able
You're
to
mocking his
it's
widow.
already inflamed.
You're
What are you
mocking his
talking
widow.
about? We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you
to
mock
fight
his
something
widow?
Online?
And it's all conservative, you know. Because even if it wasn't a conservative shooter, as a wannabe assassin or assassin murderer, it was his parents. Yes, it was the parents. The parents were conservative. So, well, obviously, if somebody grew up in Utah in a conservative family, of course he's conservative. How easily destiny just signs people out from the liberals.
Because
Why
she's
did you
being
mock his
wielded
widow?
as because she's being used as a political weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives to continue.
Damn,
What do
even
you mean?
Piers
Wow.
Morgan.
She's literally doing
Her husband
He's
just got
fucking shocked.
murdered.
on
Unbelievable.
email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
And
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You
The
won't condemn
president
it.
can't even tell his side
You're
to
so
turn the
damned
temperature down.
about
President cannot.
Trump
You are-
that you
you are
cannot condemn the
unhinged.
murder
It is such a
because you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit here
Trump
and
to
make
say
money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring
crazy
in
to
let me
me
bring
that
in
Republicans
Jack.
can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
in let me bring in
What a
Jack
joke of the
Posobiec.
world.
I gotta
You
say,
still no answer to that question. Piers. You can't
felt like I haven't been watching Destiny quite a while.
say,
Which question?
Why can't Donald Trump?
Haven't
why
seen him.
can't
I
Donald
never had
Trump
watched him.
simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down,
Fine.
like Biden
Continues
could, like
repeating
Obama
that.
could,
Why
like the
doesn't
Clintons could, like
it
Kamala could.
apply
Why not?
to you?
why can't you condemn the murder of
See,
Charlie
it's
Kirk?
unbelievable. It's I'm not the
It
president.
is unbelievable, Destiny.
can't
Well,
you
nobody's asking that
condemn
question.
the murder of
This
Charlie
question
Kirk?
that- himself.
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should
Yes,
be the
it
one that
was.
is driving up
It
the
actually
rhetoric. You
was
don't
your
know
side
the
that caused
truth.
it.
It wasn't my side.
It
This
was
an
your
18
side.
This guy was raised in a
They,
white
even if they find his YouTube channel, like Twitch, even if they find his Twitch account, and tell people that he actually, this guy, the Robinson, yes, he had been following Destiny for 3-4 years. He will not just believe that, of course. It's going to be evil propaganda.
He was a
I guess, as well.
radicalized-
And another attempt of radicalizing society. It would be all clear.
Christian
leftist
state.
Plain as day.
ideology.
Again,
Radical-
previously he's always been just referring to FBI statistics and information, official statements, as well, without much doubts.
Lies by leftism at
When
all.
it was
No proof of
friendly.
that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like when
investigators
are
Melissa
saying.
Was a conservative, just like the people that fired
Well,
Brian
meaning that before it was Trumpist.
Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were
was not a
conservative, just like the Proud
conservative, he was
Boys
a
were
pro-Palestinian
conservative.
activist.
He mentioned.
Every
Out of
single one of
Harrisburg.
these,
Yeah, why
every
wasn't
single
it
one of these
condemned?
people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec, what the author
Yes,
of
like, of course, again, this is a bad action. Okay, let's agree. Storming the Capitol, definitely not a good thing. Even though previously, by the way, it was taken under control by pro-Palestinian protesters. Just nobody spoke about this with in the same way. Yeah, they just came into the place and occupied a square. And they were like doing protest inside the Capitol. It was smaller, it wasn't violent. I guess. However, violent was the January 6th, yes, with one casualty, who was a conservative woman from the side of protesters. Apparently there was one, yes, who died. Anyway,
human, another person
no,
that
plus footages, yes, the released footages from, well, later on, many years after Trump came into the office. Maybe slightly before that people were just, well, there were guards of the Capitol who were seeing people around, yes, just showing them the way and all. Not much violence, in other words. Anyway, still, we can agree. I can't even, like, I can be generous and agree that it was a horrible, bad action. Yes. Almost as bad as killing somebody. Why the Democratic president,
that Charlie's
the newly appointed president didn't come to the publicity and called people to calm down.
dude.
But I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie
Yes, you are
Kirk.
acting like a non-human.
Why can't I hear Donald?
Oh, you see, he's dehumanizing me. Oh, it's the conservatives
that
that
violence.
dehumanize
You
us,
want-
what they know.
Can I
Condemn
They
it.
want
Okay,
civil war.
We've
I
all
can't hear it.
heard.
That's insane
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to
And we've
condemn it.
heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn
Jack
it too. But for some
Posobiec.
reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening.
Just they're talking to him as a human. It's like, why you behave like? Don't you have anything like humane?
I find it sickening that when people are getting
Are you
killed
a
in the
total fucking animal? They're not talking about. I'm not a president.
country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, where they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know, all the elections are rigged. It's the radical Democrats. That's insane to me.
That's what he says. All the election. If he had been saying all the elections were rigged, then it means that his election was
The
rigged.
fixation is, well, who
I
on
think he
Twitter
meant one election in
and
particular.
YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right, Jack
Piers,
Posobiec.
you have a great example here of the type of cancer I'm talking about, where when you present direct information, they refuse, they obfuscate, they refute, they say
And
it's
the rigging of election, by the way, was never taking place, I suppose.
not true.
So-
They lie. You could see from the bullet case
And once it happened by the Republicans.
you could see from
Seemingly.
postings, you could see from everything out there.
2004,
that, you know,
I
it's
guess, or
very clear what
2000,
happened here.
2000.
This is the same people who supported President Trump almost getting assassinated twice.
It was
last
truly
year.
suspicious, yes, without a doubt. Well, so there were many questionable, even though, well, rigged election, whether it was really, on some level, all of the like there is manipulations and like not very legitimate manipulations with votes that occasionally normally taking place. How much it was outside the norm? 2020.
Year, Corey Couple,
Yeah, I guess.
Corey being assassinated
By
last year
conservatives.
in a situation.
They were a bit rigged. Well, again, the
Again, see, just lies. That's all they do. They talk over. They don't even let you give a chance to speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about are clicks and YouTube streams.
in the eyes of destiny, he's calling for surrender. For surrender, he wants. In the eyes of destiny, this man is demanding the left, the liberals, to surrender right now.
likes. Go to the
That's
casket.
his optic,
Go to
which
the
he
gravesite.
explained.
Go talk to the widow. You know, I don't even know how to.
They're
how
just
to
saying, man, can you be a little bit more like a human, not like an animal? Can you stop being an animal?
discuss this with someone who's completely lost all touch
Hi,
with
hello.
reality.
Yeah, I mean, Anna.
What's Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should
Did you
all be
see
less
he
violent?
fucking moron?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded
Because I can't.
execution of Charlie
Donald Trump
Kirk.
turns on
I
Destiny
don't think
on
you're in a
YouTube,
position
and he
to
says, "I
demand
wonder what
anything
Destiny's
from
How
anybody.
do you
on
feel
YouTube."
today?
That's
I
how I'm
feel
going to
alright.
take my
You're
my
not in
pointers,
any
but
position
really?
to
Destiny is
condemn
making
anybody
it
for anything. You
only
don't
bad right
condemn
now.
a
Because he's the
cold-blooded
president
murder.
of the
Lovely,
United
man.
States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic
Why Donald
humanity
Trump-
says
why
the
Donald
murder
Trump,
was
the president,
horrific.
can't-
Sadly,
Why-
truly, nobody had asked responded with the example I brought up.
You
All of us
say
need
it.
to be less violent.
Why
I'm
can't you
just
say
curious
it?
how Destiny would be deflecting it, because, well, the way he deflected it, I would have deflected his.
Destiny.
For over a decade.
That's the
say
same way
the
I would have
murder wa-
deflected. Well, absolutely identically.
It's horrific.
His
and
reproaches,
unacceptable.
reproaches
say
towards
it.
Trump,
can't do
not
it.
Can we
going
hear
in the
any
public.
word for Donald Trump?
All right, Anna
Can we hear for
Kasparin.
Donald Trump. Nothing exactly.
Anna Kasparin, this
I'm just
to
saying
me,
that,
this is what
I
I'm
absolutely
talking about.
support
That I
protests
think
in
there is an
London. They seem to be gone, by the way. I woke up this morning, and ever since I haven't been seeing any footages from London. So you see, people, many people are inspired. Yes. The thing is, I'm also sympathetic. Obviously, well, I mean, I'm sympathetic. I understand entirely what people stand for and why are they pissed. But I never was taking that seriously, nonetheless. And it seems like today, again, I'm not in London. Maybe I need to search elsewhere. It's just all of the channels I have. There is no footages of the protests anymore. I understand, as I understand, they're gone. So they people came out on the streets in pretty severe numbers. Yes, of course there is a lot of people from left, from right, from middle, from center, who are not fond of the migrational crisis. But there is a hold on, where was I? Yeah, basically, a lot of people are displeased by this situation. Nevertheless, doubtfully this is any serious approach. Yes, even if one likes protests, I don't like the nature of protests. I don't like masses of people. In general, like it's a principle thing almost. whether I'm sympathetic with the views of people or not who protest. Still, like a mass of people, a mob is always violent and deconstructive in general. So not much good can come out of this. The people are fighting for their rights. That's the point. Where are they? Like, the fight is over, man. The fight is over. That's all. Well, fought for a day and back home. Back home. Next day, the life goes on. My point is that it's just not serious in any way, yes. It's just somewhat of a short-lived impulse, basically. No more, no less. It's never over. Yeah. Well, only in the path. Only in statements of pathos, I guess it lives.
Element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick. As I've just seen from Destiny.
Again, Destiny cannot comprehend it. He thinks that the reproach to him is on his political views, yes, on his beliefs, but it's a reproach on humane level, simply. He doesn't understand it.
It's a
The
sick
sick thing is
mindset.
weaponizing a widow's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. She's showing up in emails for
In
recruitment
this case, anything is weaponization.
What
drive
would
for
you
TP
expect,
USA.
though, Destiny?
24
What did
what
you
How is my English? I completed Duolingo courses. All right, I guess.
I
think
expect
the
I'm not an
assassination
English
of a
teacher
political
anymore.
figure
I would
would
say you
do?
probably
I
Did you
barely
think
speak
the
English.
out-
It's an illusion. In reality, I don't know English at all, really. It's just the accent. You improve the accent and vocabulary. A little bit of vocabulary, not much, of course. And it will be looking as if you know English on a decent level. In reality, you might not be.
outcome was going to be?
It's all an illusion.
What did you think the
what do you-
outcome was? And
hold
by
on,
the
I'm
way,
sorry, are you asking me
really,
for the pragmatic
your
political outcome, or are you
behavior?
asking
Hold
me
on,
for-
let me. Hey,
You
how
asked me a
about
question,
take it
so I
easy
didn't know
on
it
the
was rhetorical.
Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me
Нормально,
answer the
короче.
question
Okay,
that Pierce
sorry,
asked me.
you must have been really bullied today, I
My
guess.
behavior,
Let Anna speak, please.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base
what are
my
they so
own
crazy
personal
arguing?
behavior
Over
on
the
his
death of
behavior.
Charlie Kirk?
I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now
They
a
don't respect
widow
each other.
with
There is
two
not
young
much
children
respect. It's
who
only
witnessed
hatred,
her husband
like
get shot
mutual
in the neck
hatred
and
that
bleed
grows
out to death.
in the American society lately. Well, in
I
many
just don't
societies,
understand
actually.
it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart, and at the same time, you
it's such a
judge
simple thing.
others
If you're
as
going to
hateful.
weaponize somebody's grief
His heart is in the right place.
against the other party, well, then of course
Meaning
people have a
it doesn't exist, I guess.
right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve in whatever way she wants, but when that grief is going to be weaponized to do recruitment, political recruitment, and further radicalization of the other
Again, January 6th. The whole fucking bunch of those events never was any kind of the tragedy of January 6th was never weaponized by the Democrats, I suspect. Is that the thing? Is that the
side.
thing, really?
Then of course,
Okay.
you not only have
Hey,
the
again,
ability
he
to
did-
mock it, I think you have the
point is,
obligation to mock it. It's
I would be
insane.
just repeating myself after, just like him, yes, because throughout the whole... Well, he's just been repeating for 10 minutes his take, yes. On every single reproach, he would be answering that Donald Trump is not trying to calm society down. Well, yeah, well, once again, I can only repeat myself. Maybe applying the same kind of reproaches and logic towards yourself. Yes, on you. On
Let me understand.
people your, or rather the political side that is more preferable for you. No.
Let me understand your argument. So
Good
since
that Destiny is not
others are
biased and
using
relies on science and logic his whole life. It is like arguing in the elementary school between little kids. In a way, this is political debates.
her
Welcome,
grief
welcome,
to
man.
politically recruit.
Welcome to this
you
realm.
Think that it's okay
It's always
to
been
mock
like
her
this. Well, I mean, for a
specifically?
long time
Since
now.
others
How
are
does that make
using
any
her
sense?
As far as I have
she's
been
the
seeing
one who
them, and
gave
I
a
haven't been seeing
17-minute
them for too
speech
long,
on TV
surely.
where she talked about good
That seems
versus
like-
evil. She's the one showing up in
Destiny,
TPUSA.
let me
For a while, they have been
to
looking
Let me
pretty
one or
much
two
like
explain
days
this.
something to
after.
you. If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech. I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things
Well,
that she
yeah,
said.
it means you would be weaponizing. But if you weaponize the death of your husband politically for the good side, for the one that Destiny prefers, then well, he wouldn't be seeing any problem with that. I suspect that's the disposition here. That's why
Said.
Vladimir Putin
Okay, you
doesn't
need to
respect us.
understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that. This is why I've
That's
moved
fine.
away
And
from
when something yeah, I know, yes,
identifying
because
as
you
a
got bullied online. It's so funny.
Americans
It's so funny
are
that you just
so
said that you
embarrassing
don't
on the
think about
left.
how other people act to define your behavior. Your entire political ideology now is somehow defined by the people that were mean to you on
But
Twitter.
these people, they are not politicians. They are children who believe that instead, if instead of discussing like the life of celebrities or cartoons they watch, like Rick and Morty, if they instead of that discuss and dispute over political matters, they become more relevant. Yeah, they become more serious people somewhat. In reality, it's always pretty much the same thing. Like it's nothing more than a hobby, and really not very serious thing to do. But usually people believe that, political disputes of this sort are. Well, I mean, in a way, they are quite serious, really. Sometimes it depending on a kind of a country, really. I guess. There is a certain weight, but not much anyway.
Twitter.
No,
Somebody
it's
cares
not.
about somebody who's
No.
grieving.
Another point.
understood
In other
what
words,
flaws on
well,
the
Vladimir
left
Putin
happened
doesn't
to
deal
me.
with them. Vladimir Putin doesn't have to deal with Destiny. He's got other people. Yes, a lot
We
more
listen to
serious.
arguments.
Destiny-
No, it's
Maybe you
not
should
about
take
the
some
way
time
I
to
get
grieve.
treated.
You don't
I
say,
get
hey,
treated
let's
like
throw a
crap from
camera in
both
front
sides
of
of
you
the
and have
political
you do
aisle.
mass recruitment for our political party while everyone over here is calling for civil war. It's unhinged. When you've got people like
Yeah,
Todd
Donald
Walsh,
Trump,
the Daily
called
Wire,
for
the
We're
civil
talking
war.
to a guy
Like,
who said
whoa,
he'd be
please,
okay
fact
with his own
check.
parents getting
I
killed
would
if
love
they
to
went to that
fact check.
Trump rally where that assassination
Yeah,
attempt
and we're
happened.
talking to a
There's
woman
no
who went
reasoning
on and
with
did
you,
the whole
Destiny.
conservative media
There's
outlet
no,
with
there's
Tucker
no
Carlson
reasoning
and
with
Glenn
you.
Beck and had
Okay.
nothing bad to say whatsoever. I know where your bread is buttered. I know where
And
you're
it was
making your money
great. I
from.
had
Okay, that's
awesome
great.
conversations.
And you
I
did
don't
with the
regret it
person-
at
I know,
all.
that's great.
I also had a
And keep up with the
conversation
personal
with Jack
attacks 'cause you're
Posobiec
so
on her
brain
take. It was
broken.
awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Anna
what
Kasparian, right?
democracy is
That's her
about.
name.
Having an
Russia that
exchange
lies
of
about every other thing
ideas.
that comes out of his
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah,
All right.
great.
Yeah,
Let me
but
bring in-
is
let me
she
bring
the
in-
woman
I
from
agree with him on
Gamer's Gate or
everything, but
not?
at least we
Apparently
have
she isn't.
dialogue.
Anna,
Seems like
you're
I
completely
put-
right, by
maybe?
the way. Anna is completely right.
Damn, those
And the
Armenians,
irony of
man, I
Charlie
really
Kirk is
cannot
that he
understand.
let-
Apparently there are too many Armenians in the media sphere. Apparently this is another woman I took... Well, in this case, I would apologize for a joke I made. Well, nobody cares, of course, but I have made a kind of a joke.
The way in
I
going
thought
in to
was
debate
a
with
different
people.
person. This
who
one I don't
hated
know,
him.
apparently,
And he
at
would
all.
try and
No,
have
he
didn't.
respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up
Well,
on college students.
unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let me
real.
bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson
I'm
in.
your
So do you.
arguer, yeah.
Let me bring in
So
Andrew
Big
you-
college students. Well, what... That's what Destiny has been doing his whole career. Yeah, arguing with college students just on Discord. Yes, on the internet instead of real life. And whenever he was debating Nick Fuentes, who graduated the university, Destiny was on the table blowing him. Well, figuratively speaking, of course. Just sitting on Wikipedia and trying to fact check, and then and not really finding much of an essence eventually.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You go on a college tour.
Charlie
You're going on a
Kirk is
college
trying to
tour
hold
right
higher
now.
level debate.
to
Which is
beat up-
understandable in the way, to justify Destiny in his debate with, in the latest debate of his with Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes was, it was his sphere, right? He had a lot more knowledge than Destiny. It was his pond.
up
Guys
on
killed
college students.
Destiny was
What
not
are you
comfortable
talking
there,
about,
truly.
Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second, is going on
But
a college
still.
tour to go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
I don't
Yes or no? Can you
exclusively
answer-
I guess I can.
Can
I guess anybody would have would be justified to exaggerate a little bit because Destiny
yeah,
does
I debated
exactly
how to
that. Beating college students. I guess he had been debating more than just college students, right?
actually answer?
What do you
Hang
mean
on,
I
calm
beat up
down.
What if
people?
Destiny is the new Hitler? Hmm.
One question. I got one question for you, and I want you to
There is
actually
something
answer
to
it.
it.
Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in
Then
this
just-
country has been crazy. But the reality
So
is,
then-
until
So
conservatives
then why did you
have
say that to your
until
co-host
conservatives-
that Trump
until
deserved the
conservatives
bullet? Why'd you tell him
have
that?
Until conservatives have to say, hey, we all need to be less
He
violent.
said
There's
Trump
no
deserves a bullet. Well, in this
purpose in
case, Kamala
Democrats
Harris
doing
deserves
it,
a
because
bullet.
every time Democrats disavow,
As well as
you
everyone
further
else from
entrench
the
your
opposite
guys'
camp.
delusional
Everybody deserves
belief.
bullet following. If
all
everybody
of
has the same logic, everybody deserves a
Violence
bullet.
is coming on the
And
left.
if so, then you get
Donald Trump
you
can go
may
on
end
TV.
up in a bit of
He can
chaos.
say, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by." They can go on Parler and say, "We heard you." They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, "Hey guys, why aren't Democrats?"
Well, I will not be
disavowing
repeating
violence?
myself
Pretend that
on
the
the
problem's coming from the
January
left.
6th. I guess it's
Democrats do a
pointless.
disservice to this country by
Okay,
disavowing
hang
violence
on, hang on.
constantly
Let me
when the
respond
president of the
quickly.
United States
Let me
won't go
respond
on
quickly.
TV and say all
Let
of
me
us need to
respond
be less
quickly,
violent. How
Destiny.
easy
So
would that
the
be?
thing is, why did you say to your co-host
Yeah, keep focusing
that
on me.
the
Keep
bullet
focusing on
that
me.
the bullet
I'm not here to
that
play-
the bullet was
It's funny. These people, like Piers Morgan, I think this Armenian woman also, they are liberals. They are people from pretty much, well, from that, generally speaking, from the same camp. I don't know the other two. Well, one of them might be conservative. Yes, the most silent guy who's looking like a stone. He might be a Republican. But, yes, peculiar, right? They are all, like, people from the left and from the right, for some reason, from center, don't like you. For some reason, they all jump at you. Or jump on you, yes. Somehow, you end up to be an enemy to everyone.
for Trump. Why did
How
you say to
can
your
it be?
co-host
Apparently, the problem is the people around you, of course. It's not you, it's never you. It's
Why
never
did
you.
Donald
The
Trump-
best
why did
place for the
Donald
bullet
Trump
It's the
call
whole
people
world
Why did
is
you
wrong.
say that?
fascists? Why did Donald Trump call
It's a
people
whataboutism.
fascists? That's what's causing people to
Whataboutism.
go, yeah,
I'm
that's what
asking
you're
you
doing
a
right
question.
Now, whataboutism. The
I can't be
conversation is about
whataboutism
what I
if
said.
it's my
The
question,
conversation is,
Destiny.
Who is this man? Is he liberal? I feel like he
Donald
might
Trump
be.
disavow
Answer
violence in the United
the
States?
question.
Well, at
Alright,
least
why
the guy who was accusing me in whataboutism was French Diamond. But French Diamond is quite something, I must say. Damn. He's always coming with whenever he comes on the stream, he's got the best questions. Like, I think the next time I'm gonna ask him as well something of the same sort. Like, what is best, to leave happily or a bullet to the head?
Why don't we
Like,
do
his
this?
questions
Why
are
don't
pretty
we
much
do
of the
this?
same sort.
Why don't we do this before I cut
such
Mike?
an
But serious.
Because you don't
They're
care.
serious.
You don't care that Kirk's dead. Just
Destiny,
be honest,
allow
you fuck.
Andrew,
Just be honest, you fuck.
allow
ingenious man.
Andrew to repeat his question.
I think he should be there too.
And let
Oh,
him ask
somewhere
the
with
question,
Destiny.
then you answer it, okay? Andrew.
No, I want to hear the other
No,
side
no,
first.
let him
See what
ask
I
the
mean?
question.
Donald Trump.
Let him
disavow violence
ask
in
the
this
question, Destiny, and then you answer
Destiny-
it. Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host when asked point blank if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it. Okay, this guy's an obfuscation machine. And you know what else, Destiny? Why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life
If
and
Hillary is
say
wrong,
the
he's a
truth
Christian
that
Orthodox.
you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is.
Okay.
Isn't that really what's true?
Fine.
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be
So it's not
happening.
just liberal,
I don't know
then?
why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here, like in terms of temperature. The Clintons have no
Traditional
problem saying it.
misogynist.
Barack
So he's
Obama has no
just
problem
like me.
saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and
Debate
said
star.
it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down.
Yeah. People who were defending BLM riots were not guarding any kind of violence.
And
So
until
did
that
Trump
happens, there's
deserve
no
the
reason for
bullet?
anyone allowed to say it.
Did Trump
This is-
deserve
well,
the
yeah,
bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just
It's
answer
actually
the
insane
question,
to me.
bro.
It's
Did
so
Trump
insane
deserve
to
the
me.
bullet?
Did Donald Trump
he deserve
disavow
the
violence
bullet?
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
Answer
disavow
the
violence on his
question.
side
Did
ever?
Trump
answer the
deserve
question.
the
What, you can't
bullet?
say- You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro,
to
it's
find
my turn
tweets
to
and
ask the
YouTube
question.
video
It's your
clips.
turn to answer.
It's
Did
YouTube video
Trump deserve
clips,
the
and it's-
bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's
Answer my
disavowed
question, I'll
violence.
answer you.
But
Did he
again,
measure
I-
that scientifically?
Now your turn. Now your
Not just
turn.
on the radical
It's
left.
your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did
then
Trump
no,
deserve the
I
bullet?
never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to
Andrew
your
Wilson.
co-host.
No,
You
I
said-
didn't. Oh, wait. When
Now,
did
your
Donald Trump
exact
disavow?
words.
Wait. When did
You-
Donald Trump
your
disavow
exact
violence
words
in
to
this
your
country?
co-host, you
Morality
lying
and
sack of shit.
dating.
If he
I'm
wanted
the lying
to
sack
kill
of
Trump,
shit.
the
No
worst
way.
thing that could have happened
Donald Trump
was the
disavowed
bullet
all
missing.
political violence. And
That's what you
this,
said,
and this is
bro.
yeah. And this is where when
You're
you're
the biggest
putting
lying sack of
YouTubers when
shit,
you're putting
bro.
YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States. This is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why it'll continue.
But
There'll be more
Destiny-
deaths.
but Destiny-
Maybe there'll be
Following this
Destiny-
logic, you can be doing anything at all. Like even if you're not talking, right? You can use this argument of his at any like Tyler Robinson can go whenever he will be in the court. He can say the same, right? Well, at least he very well try to how to say choose that strategy basically. Similar to Destiny. Yes, I did shoot Charlie Kirk, but did Donald Trump ever try to calm the society down? I'm just a guy. Why are you judging me and not judging him?
There'll be
Well, I do
Destiny-
agree you
die.
want it to
And
continue.
you guys are all
Destiny-
going to turn around and be like, I can't
Uh,
believe
Destiny-
what's
tell you
happening
more.
here.
Okay,
Yeah.
Destiny. If you
Uh,
care
about-
so
about-
much about political
about
violence in
dating,
America, why don't
debates.
you lead the way yourself without
can't,
mentioning
because
anybody
one
else?
side-
Why don't
because
you?
one side-
Why don't you, Destiny, right now, just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side can't
can't
turn
do it, can
down
you?
the temperature.
You can't
the other
do
side
it.
can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't, then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it.
Republicans
Okay, you don't wanna do it.
need accountability
Okay,
for
Jack-
their actions. They
But they're not politicians. Why do they need to have any accountability? They're not politicians. They're not presidents. They're not a president of the United States. Why should they have any accountability? May I ask?
need some responsibility
don't
for the
understand.
insanity.
He had
that
it coming,
caused-
didn't
Even though
he,
you
Destiny?
say
Like if the president of the United States, Joseph Biden, couldn't condemn the couldn't calm down the society, why should just common people be feeling any responsible for anything or accountable?
Yourself.
We need this
Let me bring in
If the
Jack.
president isn't. If the president is not trying to calm the society down when it's heating up, why should they do
Absolutely,
anything?
All right,
Democrats will
that's
take
enough.
Why
it.
should they be less radical? Excuse me.
That's their
I'll bring
fault.
in Jack Posobiec.
Yeah,
Jack.
okay. Nice. Both sides it.
Jack, what is your response to this?
I mean,
at the
Piers,
power
this
dynamics
is
between
exactly
Joe
what I'm
Biden and
talking
the
about.
President of the
You know,
United States.
this type of ideology where
Yeah, again,
You've got
like, at this point, I do not understand why should they be feeling any accountable if the aggressive rhetoric has been addressed to their direction by the Democrats for so long, for decades.
someone who's willing to mock Erica,
Prove
who's
that
been
wrong.
standing strong for her family,
Who's-
for her
is
children.
it's
just she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to be with them.
This is the wrong
again,
strategy this
have
guy has.
more children.
He's trying to
have
present his empathy, but you see, the most empathetic people, they are
grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them.
they are like this.
It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie
probably
Kirk
addressed to the
that said,
people
"Hey,
mostly,
fascist,
actually.
catch." And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying
oh,
about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up."
shit!
Wait, what?
And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying
oh,
about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless.
up.
Do I misunderstand something?
Oh my god! You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting
Piers.
piece of shit. Holy.
What a
Here's-
pedantic
Are we-
point. What a
are we
It's not
even gonna do
pedantic.
this?
These guys are professional
It's total
liars.
pedant-
pedantry.
gonna
It's
do
total
this?
pedantry. Total
This guy
really gonna do
I would like to let
Jesus.
Jack.
I
would
didn't
like
get that part. What exactly Destiny was trying to say.
to
really.
let Jack finish his
I,
point.
well, it's my
Yeah,
apparently my
And-
problem.
And they'll claim there's no leftist
But nonetheless,
connection.
yeah,
They'll
he's
claim there's no
just-
there, and then
he's
go
being
so
him.
far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the
yeah,
writing
his
on the wall.
parents were conservatives and
And
Christians, so he was by extent.
You know, these are very common symbols associated. Whatever. The point is, right? It should be
Even though
very,
he was living with a transgender. And again, plenty of information on his social media activity.
very clear. Are we connected with our humanity or are we not? And some people are willing to do that. Anna's been willing to do
Once again,
that.
the way Destiny views it is that these conservatives, they're trying to manipulate us. They want us to surrender so they can win easily. We're not letting it happen.
We've
That's
done
how
shows
it
together.
apparently
They've been-
seemed in
they've been
his head,
fine.
man.
They've been good. We've jousted,
Remarkable.
gone back and
Remarkable
forth.
fella.
Justin and I
All
in
I
the
can
past
say.
have had shows together where before he kind of took this
Great
turn,
chap.
and you think there are people who can just be willing to stand up for.
The bullets left behind, but they shut her. Yeah, I remember. There was one in particular, something... if you read this, you are gay. Lol. I think it was written on one of the bullets.
For humanity.
And it was read by the governor. Like the governor or the police department, the head of police department.
Jack, it reminds me a bit of the journey
Like
I've
they quoted it.
gone on, very different circumstances, but the Israel-Hamas war. The reason I asked everybody on the pro-Palestinian side for months after the war started, do you condemn what Hamas did, is I think it was very enlightening as to the humanity of the person by how they responded. If their immediate response was, of course I do, the mass murder of civilians on October the 7th.
And funny thing is that Piers Morgan, throughout the whole dialogue, he really was just trying to. For him, he was asking again like a humane question to Destiny, whether he, as a human being, is condemning that. And it took him like 15 minutes to squeeze it out of Destiny. So he would say, "Yes, of course, I'm against any political violence."
Was a horrendous atrocity. Then we can move on to an intellectually
Yeah, it was
honest
lol
debate.
in the end.
If they refuse to condemn what Hamas did, it's a completely different debate. And similarly, right now, I feel if you can't condemn a lot of
He's
what
probably a
the
far
IDF are
but he's a
doing,
conservative.
frankly,
He's a conservative
opinion,
who lived
in
with a transgender.
Gaza,
Classic.
then
Well,
the same thing.
Again, in
If you-
the eyes of
unequivocally
Destiny,
like-
that's how the whole picture looks like.
it's all fine with 20,000 plus kids being killed, then I've got a problem with that too. But I do think you've got to try and maintain in all of these debates.
He's choosing the most cannibalistic stances out of principle, apparently. Like, he doesn't like certain political movements in the US, and no matter what happens, for fuck's sake, I don't know, somebody can be just eating children, literally, right? Or eating people. There will be a cannibal of some sort. Well, whatever. I don't know
Modicum
what
of
I was headed,
humanity
never mind.
About
It's just
people
no
who-
matter what happens, he would never see a wrong on his side in any
who are
way.
actually being killed.
And on the
And what
contrary,
is
the
terrifying
enemies,
about
the opponents,
the
they always
mindset
will be.
of a lot of people on the woke
The villain,
left
the
have
bad
seen since
guys.
Charlie Kirk's death
Hottentot
is
morality,
the
in other
brazen
words.
glee that they're taking to his murder. And then when I see even Destiny, who's a very well-followed person on the internet, well-known, when Destiny, frankly, if you can't bring yourself just to say the murder was horrific and should never have happened, it's a very simple sentence. It's just
that's what
basic
Piers Morgan
humanity.
was
It
trying
really
him
makes
to-
me despair
to get him saying.
for where everything is going, because it's indicative of the mindset of I can't give an inch to my political
Even
opponent.
Hassan Abi, do think about what? That's what I mean, right? Hassan Abi instantly raised. Well, at least it was looking like a sincere concern. Like he was, whoa. Maybe he was trying to appear this way. Perhaps, possible. The point is that even Hassan Abi was looking like a sane person in comparison to this. And he's wondering why people are jumping on him or at him. Damn, I always forget at, I guess. Jump at.
Therefore, I lose my humanity. How can that be right?
Because you can't give an inch to political opponents that won't.
And he thinks he came up with a clever perspective, yes, with his clever framework. How to say? Well, yeah, he thinks he came up with a clever
anything they've done is
argument.
wrong. It's all it's done is gotten us here. This is where we're at because
Even though
of
it's
that.
not even that clever, it's a foolish one. It's this logic is riddled with holes.
Exact mindset. Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband and shot the other senator in Minnesota?
Well, rather the argument, I would say. Yes, the logic is understandable, on some level.
Yeah, of course.
But the argument
because
That it was
itself
a conservative
political
shooter?
that he's trying
no,
to
no, no,
impose.
that it was a
Yeah.
conservative
That Trump should lower the temperature.
shooter?
He's not doing that, so.
I don't know the details on that particular case. If I
course,
did,
yeah,
and
of
it
course
turned out
they
that
don't,
it was the, and it turned out it was the case, of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. Thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you. You can easily
has to
just
do
say,
with is that
you
when
can lead by
conservatives
example and say,
refuse
let's
to
all
acknowledge-
tone down the
You can't
violence.
lead by
That's
example.
what
I'm
you
not the
want,
president
right?
of the United States. That's what Democrats
Neither are the Republicans whom he was criticizing
have
earlier.
been doing.
Wait,
for
you
the
can't
last-
lead.
Criticizing and actually reproaching them for not having any accountability.
Yeah.
by
decade
example because
their
you're
actions.
not the president.
Democrat-
They're
That's
not
the stupidest
politicians.
thing I've heard
If
today.
one
What kind of
side
an argument is that?
wants to
Because I'm not
fight-
a politician, and Donald Trump is. So that's why Donald Trump should do what I say. Well, however, when the similar thing, when when the same reproach comes into my address, well,
fight and the other side doesn't, then you're going to fight.
not
One
applicable.
side can't decide not
What
to
are you
fight,
talking?
but the other
That
side
makes no
decides to.
sense. What does that have
What do
to
you
do
mean
with
it
you?
makes no
You
sense?
can-
If
you
some
can
guy comes up
easily-
to you to
you
fight,
can easily
and the
just
other
say it
side
now,
says, I
Destiny.
don't want to, you don't really have the choice there. It's
Lead
that's
by
how fighting
example, then.
works.
Lead by
You
example.
can't lead by
and show
example.
us.
That's called dying.
You can.
Actually,
Right
I
now,
thought-
you
I
do
thought-
it right
I
now.
actually
Second
thought-
Amendment rights.
Do it right
I
now.
actually
That's the party
thought.
of
Let me
self-defense.
jump in.
'Cause you're
I-
actually happy
Let me
about
jump
it.
in.
that's
here.
what I was saying
actually-
previously. Yes, like Hassan Abi in comparison to Destiny looks like a more stable psychiatric.
I actually felt that
person.
Anna hit the nail
Destiny,
on the head here.
well, he's either a little insane or he's. I think it's there is an element of that, to be honest.
Which is she did
his
not-
psychiatrical situation is truly not
Need
looking
to
well.
wait for
Because
Don-
if he had been just a cannibalistic, bloodthirsty person, he wouldn't be saying
Donald
that.
Trump to
Because with any, like, it's why it's unpragmatic, absolutely.
on this to make her own mind up about what had happened. That
To
is
have this
intellectual
stance.
honesty.
It's just obvious. It's objectively a shitty one. Even liberal people jump at you.
Yes, it may be
No,
somebody
but
that
like
she
everybody's people from left and right, they agree. They agree on one thing, that you are
Because
a
as
little
a-
bit, a little bit too fucking unpleasant, mate.
Right
on
wing
many
talking
issues.
head. Why? He
The
had no
simple-
Stuff like drugs. Well, it's all microdosing. You know, it's only making his brain working better because he read the article. I bet he was saying something of this sort. Yes, there is scientific research. There is a scientific research I read, and actually, if you consume it wisely with like small doses, it's only gonna make your brain function better.
most
you can do
humane
this.
thing to do
Classic thing.
with
I
any
bet
event
something
like
of that
this
sort
is
was
to
taking
ask
place.
yourself,
Of course, he wouldn't read the articles of other scientists that would be coming to a completely different conclusion, absolutely diametrically opposite.
how do I personally feel about it?
They
Not
would
what
be
does Donald
disregarded
Trump
because he doesn't like the conclusion.
think about it, or what does Joe Biden think about it, or what does Timbuktu think about it. It's what do I personally feel about this.
Notice, yes, the Democratic politicians, they, in the end of the day,
Didn't take
nobody
me
was
very
like,
long,
not many people
Destiny.
were like Destiny. Apparently, even Vaush wasn't.
To understand
probably.
that
didn't
I
see.
felt
I was trying to find his opinion. There was a highlight video, like 30 minutes long, but he wasn't speaking. He was like
by
watching,
the
and
execution
I was lazy.
of somebody
of
in
course.
cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there
Searching
watching.
for that, for
It's
his
a
comments.
human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it at all.
Destiny.
I don't understand.
The host of the show already repeated it like 5 times, I guess, if not 7.
Understand why you need to wait for him before your own
I don't
humanity
need to
kicks
wait
in.
for anybody. No, you're not asking how we feel about it. You're asking what the public statements should be.
I think he literally asked you for your opinion. In any case, you can give your opinion on that matter and say that, well, I condemn. I don't like the violence. And frankly speaking, the guy was, he shouldn't have done that. But, and then he goes with his stuff. Yes, at least he could have said that.
And the public
But
statement.
no, he instantly started justifying the actions of the shooter and
No.
accusing the wife of weaponizing the death of her husband.
President of the United States.
I'm not sure what kind of a comment she should have been given, really. Not to weaponize, given the fact that her husband was a political figure, and she will be given a political speech with a lot of attention drove to her. What should she should have said?
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
asking
not.
me for a public statement.
Kasparian, right? Again, what's her name? She.
I'm
Right
asking,
now,
where
we
is
get
your
great watching a
humanity? You
colleague
can't
She
just say
understands it.
the
Where
murder
is your
was
humanity,
wrong.
peers? You guys are playing into this exactly. I think you probably know it. I think Cornell was right about this. You know where your bread is buttered as well.
Sick.
You guys play into this. It's insane to me that
Yeah.
the president of the United States can't
destiny.
say, hey, all of us need to be less violent. We all need to calm down. That the president of the United States can't say this, but you will endlessly
Yeah,
scour
presidents of the United States never can say that.
Twitter
I
and
agree, yeah.
YouTube for leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys
presidents
disavow
cannot.
the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
You know, Cornel West should have stayed in his seat. We were debating free speech, actually, and whether
You're not
the
debating free
and
speech.
whether
It's not
well, let
even
me
an equivalent
finish. Let me
conversation,
finish,
Piers.
and whether the
It's insane.
overuse of words like Hitler, Nazis, and fascists was actually empowering deranged young minds to think they were battling actual new Hitler, Nazis, and fascists. And actually, when Andrew pointed out to Cornell that he had used the phrase neo-fascist about Trump, that's when Cornell decided he couldn't take part in the debate anymore, when he was reminded of something he had said. He didn't try and deny it. He just said, I don't want to have this debate, and left.
Piers, how long have you been in the United States, like following our politics?
He's in the U.S.
Over 20 years, I've lived and worked in America.
Okay, if you've lived and worked in America, I grew up as a conservative listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck
Yeah.
and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean Hannity. You're going to sit here and pretend like Democrats are the ones that started the name calling? I heard them call Obama and the Clinton
I didn't say
socialists and
that.
communists.
When did I say
I
that?
heard them call. I'm just saying, why are we pretending that some
Wait,
people
I'm saying,
call
why
them
did
Trump?
Cornel West-
I heard them calling Bush.
Why
And you're
would
a
Cornel
leftist?
West
I thought
walk
that
out
couldn't
on a
happen 5
debate when we're
minutes ago.
literally talking about the importance of speech? Makes no sense to me.
I think Donald Trump started by just running as a president. Well, obviously, the attacks on Bush or Obama were not that serious. Like, it all started with the Trump era. Well, of course, obviously. Like, the situation started escalating pretty much around that era. I guess, well, assumingly, maybe it slowly was escalating previously, growing, like, the polarization of society probably was growing before that, but it wasn't too noticeable, right? The noticeable change was Donald Trump. As I remember, Donald Trump was just attacked from every single possible corner. No? Okay.
If
Or
speech
was
is
it like Donald Trump, stepped to a soapbox? Well, his very first appearance. I don't know, by the way, but maybe so. Perhaps in this way, perhaps Donald Trump was truly the first one to say that, throw serious, like really serious accusations like never before. Like the American politics never has heard. Maybe, yes. But the way I remember myself, which is not perfect, yes, I haven't been following it in such details. I barely was knowing much about politics back. I didn't know anything about politics. But I just remember the incredible level of stigmatization of Trump. Maybe he started first, but he was weaker and losing, yes. So perhaps he was losing, so that's why it was looking like beating of Donald Trump on the media. Possible, but something tells me he... again, apparently he wasn't saying anything too serious, nothing too unusual, and for some reason they started really... Apparently he wasn't really much of a systematic politician, that's the thing. But he happened to be very
important,
popular.
then the president should exercise
But in
it
the
more
end of the day, it really doesn't matter, because doubtfully that is an equal level of escalation. We can go a lot further than that, like before Trump era, because definitely there were some escalations previously. Verbal escalations, I mean, like calling names, as he said. Maybe, perhaps it was happening during, I don't know, like Kennedy, during those eras, yeah. Maybe during, Nixon, yeah? Oh, why not? By the way, for fuck's sake, Nixon. That was the person.
So
man.
should you.
They started with Nixon, perhaps. We can go way too far if we use this logic. In the end of the day, it's not really of any essence. You never can remember. Nobody will ever be, certainly, well, how to say? Nobody cares who really started, like, calling people names.
Republicans
Basically.
and
So should you.
Republicans have been.
And,
You can't
the violence seems like it was mostly. Well, again, Destiny will say it was all Republican violence.
stop.
You've
a
got
fight on
millions
one
of followers,
end.
and you think
You
it's fine
can't
to
stop
why
a
didn't I
fight
arrest
You
on
are
one
mocking
end.
a widow.
You cannot choose for your opponent not to fight you.
Fine.
If
You
Republicans
mocked
want
a
to turn
grieving
down
widow.
the rhetoric,
You can.
then fine.
I
Who
guess
cares?
you
Donald
don't. You
Trump
personally don't do it because you don't have the enough might.
Who
shouldn't have
cares?
used the rhetoric that led
You don't
her
have
to
an army,
be
Who
man.
cares?
killed.
You need
2 days
the troops and an army.
before she
Who
dies.
cares
Donald
that you
Trump's
mocked
tweeting
a
out
grieving
pictures.
widow?
This is
There it
all.
is.
It's just virtue signaling.
There
You
it
guys
is.
are making
Donald
fun.
Trump's
You guys are excited about it. You guys love it.
How is
You
it-
love
how
the
is it that you
violence.
said
They
this
You
guy
all
love
are
the
shocked
possibly be a
equally.
left?
It's exciting to you. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
No.
How
this
is it
isn't
that you
exciting.
said this guy can't be a
Fucking
leftist because he
imbecile.
grew up in a white Christian household when you grew up in a white
Oh.
Christian household by your own admission just now and you're leftist, Destiny?
I'm
Can you explain that
36
to me?
years old. This guy was 22 and he lived at
What
home
does that have to do
basically
with
his entire
anything?
life.
What does that have to do with
Why didn't they, I
anything?
guess?
20 years to separate myself from my parents' ideology. I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So 6 months.
They
1
haven't
year,
been
20
arresting
years?
the
Why
right
does it matter
YouTubers.
how long it
They have
took to
been
separate? You just-
deplatforming them. Some people suggest doing the same, only using the same apparatus that they have constructed and turning it against them, which would be fair enough, definitely. Yes. By the way, speaking of escalations, the machinery of who started deplatforming first? What groups of people were getting deplatformed and removed from the banking system? Yeah. Was it the Republicans who were doing that, or was it going? What was it used against the Republicans?
just got to say it was
their
impossible.
supporters.
And you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude. You're the
You're
worst hypocrite I've ever seen.
Hold on,
You're the
I'm
worst
sorry.
hypocrite.
You think that a 22-year-old has as much time to separate himself from the ideology that he grew
Did
up
I
with
say
as
that?
a 36-year-old?
Didn't say
Yeah, you
it.
just made
It's
the
a
comparison,
pedantic,
dipshit.
stupid
Of course
point.
you did. It's not
Let me
pedantic.
ask
I
you-
made the
let
comparison
me-
completely
That
on
person
the
can be
subject.
radicalized.
What a
Look at
stupid
you.
point.
Let
You're
me
the
jump
most
in.
radicalized
Let me
fucking-
jump in.
She doesn't
Let-
want to support the conservatives,
Let me
but at the
jump in. Let
same
me ask
time,
Jack.
Destiny is
Jack,
not the guy, not the kind of
know
a
the
fella,
Kirk family well. You've been around the Kirk
a kind of
family,
a
I
fella
think,
difficult to
since
side
this
with, I guess.
appalling murder has happened. When you hear
Of
Destiny
course,
saying,
yeah, it was
who
a
cares
rhetorical,
about the fact that he
rhetorical
openly,
question
publicly
on my
mocked
part.
Erica Kirk, a grieving widow, within literally a day or two of her husband being murdered.
But she
How does
is
that make
more
you
weaponized and she's using the death of her
feel
husband
as a friend of the
purposely.
family?
It's very angry, Piers, you know. And here's the thing is she's seeing all of it. She's going to see all of it. Her kids
I
are
think
going to
she'll
watch this
close
video
this
one day.
film.
It's just
I
that's sort of the
think
nature
even if
of
somebody suggests her to watch this, she'll just. Well,
Reality
probably
now.
nobody will, to be honest. Not so many people will. Even if she would encounter, I guess anybody would just close this.
they
It's
will
just
see
an
all
deranged
of this,
imbecile.
and they will see the reaction. And
Yeah.
I just hope that
Wonderful
those
persona.
of us who knew Charlie,
He's so bitter,
worked with
man.
Charlie,
He's so bitter. He hate.
who
I have a
Charlie
feeling that
beyond-
people have been hating Destiny for quite a while, and he has been radicalizing, like losing his sanity, because the online environment. Considering also, by the way, he always was pro open debates. He always was given space to the whole bunch of bums and no names to, on his platform. It was a principle of his. Eventually, he was interacting with plenty of. It's like a pathogenic environment. Also, even though Destiny himself is a little bit,
you know, TikToks and
cannibalistic
short
by
videos
nature, perhaps.
can also
But
be
the,
there
the whole thing deteriorated by, I think, my view of this.
for those kids
This
as
is the
they
new
grow
Hitler.
up
Yeah,
to let them know who-
sure. Yeah, frankly speaking,
the
yes.
dad was.
Destiny is 100% Hitler. He's Hitler, I
No,
say.
I
Kids are
think-
going to grow up and watch old
literally
episodes of
Hitler.
Piers Morgan Uncensored. How performative is this? Is everybody here? Did we all get like a script before the show? What?
They watch a lot of
embarrassing,
old
Destiny.
episodes of
What?
And
Our
I
kids are
think
going to grow up and watch old episodes of Piers Morgan Uncensored. How performative is this? Is everybody here? Did we all get like a script before the show? What?
You're
watch a lot of
embarrassing,
old
Destiny.
episodes of
You're
the
so
JFK
embarrassing. You make the
assassination,
left
bro.
look so bad.
Is this is Anna Kasparian, right? She is very much a liberal, right?
And you don't even realize it. You are
My God.
seriously so embarrassing.
She's
Okay,
like
yeah.
she
Talk to your
cannot
best
stand
friend
You
it,
really
right?
are. I mean, like,
Later,
you-
Understandable,
you-
again, understandable. I-
maybe I
well,
will. Maybe
It
I will
deserves
talk to Glenn
respect
Beck
in a
about
way
it.
because unlike Destiny, she doesn't have At least she has significantly less of a Hottentot morality. CD da Asa? What? That's her name? She's Anna. Ah. Anna Kasparyan, right? She's left. A liberal, right? Because, again, apparently I've been the name sounds very familiar. Very familiar. I heard it. There was an Armenian socialist, like a strong feminist, during Gamergate. She was a figure of that. One of the major figures. I thought it was her originally, but now I think she might be another. But still a liberal. She's liberal, right? That's the major question. Ah, Bernie liberal. Okay, we'll do. Yes, at least again. How do you say it in English? Given her respect when respect is due, right, or whatever. She's having not much of a Hottentot morality at this moment, not as much as Destiny. Well, meaning that even though he's supposedly somewhere not so far away from you, kind of, perhaps, yes, and in this, well, there are like a couple of conservatives here, and sort of you should be united, but instead, like, you can't unite with this man, you can't, because you understand that, no. According to my moral coordinate system, this is a swine. This is a total fucking pig.
Is that is that naughty? Is it
How
naughty
many
to have
conversations have you had with
people across
Nick?
the aisle?
You had more
And Destiny is surprised why everyone is jumping.
Mean. Oh no.
It's all
Not the
scripted.
meanie-
It's all planned,
He's on
man. It's all
Twitter.
planned because it's impossible that people of different political views do not agree with each other on
How
How
something.
many
Finish
more
your point,
lawsuits
Mike.
are you going to
Chicken and
face
Against
from women
you.
that you
There is no
allegedly
way.
secretly recorded during intimate moments? Destiny, I can't believe anyone
are you
takes you
se- are
seriously.
you really?
You're
You wanna
disgusting.
pull out Twitter?
You're
You wanna pull out
embarrassing,
Twitter representative?
and you should be
Yeah, keep going on
shunned
it,
from
yep.
public life with your
Hassan
disgusting
Abi
treatment.
I can't
Well,
believe-
she's in conflict with Hasanabe. I thought technically what could be the dissent. Yes, the dissent factor. Palestine. Yes, he. Well, often it happens. He is a strong supporter of Israel. She's Palestinian, so that could be the factor. If she doesn't like Hasanabe either. Damn, in this case, she might really just hate Destiny for what he says
Sorts of
exactly,
people,
without so much.
Including young,
deserves
left-wing
respect, I
girls,
think.
women
You're turning
that you
more
victimized
blonde right
allegedly.
now in the window. You're
Yeah,
so
that's who
you're
you
like
are.
2 shades away from
You're
being a Fox News
embarrassing.
host, Anna.
You
Keep
embarrass
going.
the left.
You gotta
You're the
go
type
get
of
go get
person
some
who
lip
pushes
filler there.
people
You
away
gotta
from
do-
the
you're
left.
so close,
Make
Anna.
sure you
Frankly
understand
speaking,
that. You're embarrassed.
Yeah, this is the kind of a guy to whom you need
There's
to
no
allow
morality
speaking.
with you. There's no grounding
Absolutely
values.
not.
There's no
Of course
principles.
not, yeah.
All you want is attention, 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 attention. That's all you
Absolutely.
want.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
all
Well,
you
you
want.
and Jen talk
Endless
about how
attention.
9/11 was
Say
caused by the
disgusting,
Jews, and you have
provocative
another
garbage.
friendly
You want
conversation with
attention.
another
Yeah.
mainstream conservative commentator about how you're such a leftist, but those people on Twitter are so mean.
Having a debate or dialogue doesn't automatically mean that you agree with everything they have to say. It means you're coming
No, it's when you sit
together
down and you
you're
agree with
exchanging
everything they
ideas.
have to say.
You
and
couldn't be. How can you agree with those conservative
debating them.
scumbags?
They have to say.
No, I don't agree with
Wonderful,
everything they
man.
have to
You
say.
do.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, you do.
I don't
Of course
agree with
you do. What
everything
do
they
you
have
mean?
to say.
But you know, there is
I'm
the
gonna
theory
go
of
out
games.
I
All
can
of your
sit down and
criticisms
have a
are
mature
for the
debate or
left, and you have no
conversation.
disagreements about
And
anything on the right.
according
that's
to
cool.
that,
do
the
have
Republicans,
criticisms
they
for the
seek to genocide the Democrats. You see? And not to let it happen. What the left should be doing is suggesting the genocide, pushing the genocide of the Republicans until they give up.
I have tons of criticisms for the right. Tons of criticisms.
That's pure
I'm
gold.
obviously
That's,
Don't seem to come
truth-
up much when you're
for
talking.
Better
I
than I
obviously have
was
a huge
expecting.
problem
Yeah.
with the unending,
I felt it's
unmitigated
difficult to
support for
find
Israel
something because
regardless
it's
of the
usually with Destiny, because he doesn't have, like his highlights are too long and they are long and there are not so many. It seems like he doesn't have apparently too many highlighters, as it seems. Like I'm always struggling to find. I was struggling to find his comments on Charlie Kirk's death. Again, I don't even see moments here. Nobody clipped on YouTube and uploaded the video where, like 20 seconds long, where he explains. that Republicans should be afraid, should be constantly in fear.
Genocide they're engaging in. I have all sorts of disagreements with the right. That doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize them and cheer on the slaughter of my fellow Americans because we have disagreements on politics. You're
I wish
embarrassing.
anybody here had the same
Unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
energy for the president of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused where
Destiny
it
serves as a wonderful fucking contrast factor.
really counts on Twitter.
Dude, you have
Which is what the
like
conservatives want you to be
TDS,
focused
like
on, you know?
you are like the prototype
TDS,
of TDS.
yeah, there it
It's
comes, yeah.
unbelievable.
The
You
His
wake up
ideal
every-
image for the Republican propaganda, without a doubt. He's an ideal image of a liberal if
every
they
morning
want to
and you decide
dehumanize.
your behavior is going to
True.
hinge on Trump.
But the thing is, they don't need to do much because Destiny doing all the job. Well
Tell me
done.
more
Well,
about
who
the
are you as
dancing
an
Israelis
individual?
and
God,
building
have a
7
little bit
and
of
how the
humanity.
Jews all knew about 9/11.
She didn't even mention Jews. What the fuck is he yelling about?
They all want us to go to war in the
You're
Middle
a
East. Yeah, of course.
sociopath.
Well, lovely man, lovely fella.